All right, so there's a triangle defense that many people like to employ, usually guys who have big arms and they're very strong in the shoulders. They'll posture a little bit, just a little bit, yeah. And then they'll tuck, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna lock their hands underneath your lower back right there. So I lock their hands, and the thinking on this is that it's gonna be very hard for me to make adjustments. It kind of puts pressure on this leg and things like that, right? So the ways that I like to handle this is my order of operations. Number one is I'm controlling the head. Number two is if I can just bait him into getting rid of this grip and come back, that's gonna be my number one thing I'm gonna do. So I can take my hand, you guys can make like a knife edge, or you can make a fist or a flat fist, whatever works for you. I usually can fit like a flat fist in here and then turn it into a big fist. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press this in and pull down on his head until he feels that. And once he decides I hate having this fist shoved in my throat, he comes back around to try to peel it off, and that's when I can start pulling this where I want it and locking into the triangle. So again, number one thing we can do it's just the easiest. It requires no risk. As I'm holding out of the head, I just pull the head to the side, put my fist into his throat, and then start pulling and crunching in until he decides to try to peel my hand off. Once he reaches for it, he's trying to pull it off, I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna pull it over here. Notice how my elbow kind of loops over my head this way. Now I've placed his wrist in the position that I prefer. I grab the shin, and I start moving to shimmy, adjust, and lock. Now, another way that you can accomplish this same task is when his hands are locked, cut around this way, your butt goes that way, head goes this way. What you can do also is, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm holding onto his head, I'm gonna lift my butt up into the air, take my hand and go straight down my spine, and with a flat hand, I'm gonna go through his hands. Keep your hands locked. Good. As I drop down, I'm gonna have my hand on the inside of his elbow. I lock a gable grip from the top here, and now I'm gonna start crunching his shoulder. So as I drop my right elbow, I lift my left, and I start crunching him into a kimura. So my hands come to my center, I flare my left elbow, and that pops this off. Now you can definitely try to hit a kimura here, but you'll notice the natural course of this arm is back up to that ear. Hand on the head, hand on the shin, shimmy, 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 slap bracelet, flex, come in, and work on the finish. Now there's one more situation that I'll get to there, and that's if this person has incredibly good posture, and I don't feel like I can accomplish any of that stuff. So, let's say that he comes in really, really deep with his arms and he gets posture really, really high. So, hands around my back, exactly like that. So if I get to a situation like this, one of the things that I like to do is I like to just go ahead and put my hands on the mat, like I'm doing one of those Bruce Lee kip-ups, and I'm just gonna lift my hips and drive my hips forward and throw his base off. Now, this is risky, and it's not necessarily gonna result in your triangle choke, but you will get a sweep out of this if you're if you're paying attention. So all that's gonna happen is, I'm gonna lift my hips up and start driving into him till he starts falling over. Now, oftentimes, scoot back this way. No, just right there, fall down. Fall down. So over here like this. He fell down. Now, oftentimes you will lose the triangle choke right here. He's gonna remove his arm and he's gonna start trying to post to get up. Now, all that matters in a situation like this is whose head and whose hips stay on top. So I've already knocked him over. If he removes this arm and he starts getting up on top, pull your arm back, like this. My leg comes over the top, and I need to make sure that my head and my hips stay higher than his. If I fall over like this and he gets higher, clearly he's gonna get the pass. But if instead, right when this happens, I'm able to get myself higher, I'm already gonna be in a position where I can maintain top position. So watch this one more time. We're here, he gets really good posture, arms wrapped around. Good. From here, if I really just feel like I can't get anything from him, he's way too high up, I'm gonna put my hands back here, lift and kip my hips up. Now, as I do this, there's one other thing you have to worry about. I knock him over, he falls. If this leg crosses across my center line, I'm gonna be in danger. He's gonna use this for leverage to pull his head out, and he's gonna be able to start entering into leg locks right here. Good? Exactly. I don't want that to happen. So, one thing I have to check to make sure that this sweep works. We get to here. Good, he postures. Arms behind my back. From here, as I kip over, the second I get my little spider sense going and I feel like this leg is gonna go throw across my chest, I'm blocking it. Now, even if he pulls that leg out, pulls the arm out, leg comes over the top, I make sure my head and my hips stay higher than him, build up to my base, and you're gonna find a lot of opportunities for different attacks here. Come up from my leg. Might be able to limp leg out and fall over and look stupid on your instructional. So keep those in mind. One more review. We have the arms around the back. We have the punch or karate chop in the neck until he comes back, and we pull this across and start working. Second, he has his arms locked, and I don't feel like I can get to that position. I lift my hips, slide down my spine through his hands, bring my knees back to me, and start levering this up to the shoulder and working. And lastly, move this way a little bit. Lastly, from right here, he's got really good posture. Go ahead, arms wrapped around. We're just gonna do this live once, ready? From here, I decide to push, and then he's gonna react how he reacts. Ready? Go. And you just have to be ready to win that transition.